Hi everyone, welcome to Krunch Today. Today we are going to have an in-depth discussion on the current lockdown situation and its impact on the fitness industry. Gyms, as we all know, are an integral part of our lives where we not only build ourselves physically but also strengthen ourselves internally. One cannot ignore the importance of immunity that we derive through exercise and workout, which is ironically crucial to tackle the COVID 19 virus. Sadly, due to the current lockdown situation, gyms were the first ones to take a hit, resulting in millions losing their livelihoods, and naturally, everyone's immunity levels have also been impacted. We are aware that we have a social responsibility to not let the virus spread, so this discussion will be focused on what steps we can take as an industry to restart the operations and the way ahead. We have a panel of industry experts who's waiting for us to guide us further. Let's get to them.
Hello everyone. Hi Vikas, how are you?
Hi.
How are you? Yeah.
Hi. Bob.
Hello.
Hi, hi, hi.
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 Right. So I'll just introduce everyone. Hello, Vikas. Welcome to Crunch Today. Today we have with us Mr. Vikas Jain, who is the Managing Director of Anytime Fitness. Mr. Manish Gandhi, who is the CEO of ABEC, which hosts IHFF and Sheru Classic. Mr. Nikhil Kakkar, who is the CEO of Gold's Gym India. Mrs. Soniyaa Davkhare, who is Director of Nitro Gyms in Mumbai. Mr. Harmeet Luthra, who is the MD of Fitline and Rhinos. Mr. Jain of Anytime Fitness. Mr. Jain, tell us, you are one of the biggest chain of gyms. How are you coping with this, and what is your take on the current scenario?
So definitely, it's a tough time for us as well as the entire industry, and we are working by making an association and trying to push to the government that this industry should be taken as a healthcare industry and we should be open.
Uh-huh.
Uh, at the same time, we have a responsibility towards our members and the franchisees, and that's what we are doing. We are doing a lot of virtual content for our members so that we keep our members engaged.
Okay.
And similarly for our franchises, we are doing trainings at this time so that they are empowered and they come back stronger once everything opens up.
Okay. So basically, we are looking to bounce back from here, and all the steps have been taken care of so that the current setup doesn't get disturbed. That is what you meant by.
Yes. So the current setup doesn't get disturbed, and also we are preparing a reopening guide because
Mhm.
that's really important. That how we open, what are going to be the SOPs
Uh-huh.
in the so-called new world.
Uh-huh.
Once we are about to reopen, what are the things as gym owners we all should be doing?
Okay.
What are the things that the member will expect? What are the things for safety and sanitization, social distancing? What are the norms that one should follow? We're
Mhm.
kind of preparing that, and will be rolling it soon to our members and to our franchisees.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
that's what we're working on, and trying to help the members. That's the most important thing.
Okay. Okay. And Mr. Kakkar, a similar question to you because you also are equally giant in owning the number of franchises in India. So, what would you want to add or say to?
I think pretty similar to what Vikas ji said actually.
Hmm.
Right now, basically, it is very important basically not only to engage franchise members, even the staff,
Mhm.
also basically to prepare actually and gear up actually for post-lockdown scenario, wherein there would be lot of restrictions actually and
Mhm.
lot of limitations each gym has to basically go through.
Mhm.
So whether it is training our people, our staff actually to handle the members and the conditions inside the gym, hygiene, sanitization, and so that as Vikas ji said, we circulated a questionnaire between our members. It was a member survey form. Wanted to understand actually from members what they are expecting and what is in their head actually. Whether they are ready to come back to the gym immediately or whether they are going to take little time actually. So it is very important actually to understand. Second is we have rolled out today the SOP, the manual actually for our people, franchise staff as well as members. So it's a guideline, a 20-pager guideline we have rolled out today actually. And now basically gearing up actually, because what we foresee, the way basically restrictions are there actually, and even shopkeepers are allowed actually to have 5 people actually, or 5 consumers. So in such scenarios, how do we operate gyms? Because we have thousands of members actually. Each gym has actually, and say around 40%, 50% of the members turn up actually to work out on daily basis. So how we are basically going to manage? Because managing them actually, so lot of thought processes are going on. Actually, a lot of things is going on actually in preparing ourselves right now.
Luthra Sahab, good evening. Wanted to
Good
know
evening.
wanted to know your take on the current business, because you handle both aspects of gym equipment as well as gym chains. So, कैसे चल रहा है? What do you think? Where are we headed now, and what is the scenario?
See, I'll be a minuscule thing talking in front of these two giants when it comes to gym chains. So probably what they say is absolutely correct. It's not going to be easy. So explaining to our members or handling the gym owners by way of like keeping them motivated and explaining to them, see, the job profile has immediately changed for us. We are now explaining to them how to pay rents, how to get set with the things, how to get into the salary part and all those. See, as a gym owner, there are lots of challenges the gym owners are actually facing. The main thing is like the salaries and the rentals. So all these things are reopening, and all these things are very good to be mentioned in SOPs, I understand, but the current scenario is pretty blur. When it opens, it's going to be welcomed, but still it's going to be a challenge as to how and when the members are ready to come to the gym. It's going to be a big task for all of us to bring these members to the gym. So they will not be ready, even if the gyms open. As soon as the gyms open, the rentals will be on, their salaries will be on, everything will be on the head of the gym owner. But then to bring these members back to the gym is going to be a challenge, because they will need 100% sanitization, 100% assurance of each and every trainer being very clean, not infected, everything top notch, like spick and span. Only then it will be like easy for us to bring the members to the gym. So these are all the discussions we have with our franchises going on day-to-day basis. It's the most of the day that goes into it only. Regarding the equipment thing, probably we are planning a lot of things. We are not getting into the sales of home use because we don't want to shift our focus. It's a temporary thing, what we feel, and probably we'll be jumping back into the commercial equipment. As much as we are looking at selling equipment, there'll be people who are looking at investing as soon as this thing gets over. We had few orders which were not delivered, and we have new inquiries coming in every day. It's going to be a matter of a couple of months, I guess, when it all comes to a normal stage, or we start living with it. It should not be taking much time, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. And Soniyaa ma'am, tell me something about how you are well connected with the ministers, and are we taking any measures where we are telling them that gym is not a bad place at all, and we can take some measures to sanitize it, to keep it clean. Also, gym is the major backbone of the fitness industry. Without gyms, nothing is going to work. So yeah. Please go ahead. Yeah.
So I'll not repeat all the measures that everybody has spoken about. It's pretty much the same and standard for everybody.
Yeah.
What I would like to mention is Prabodh's in touch with all the ministers. He's already directly spoken to Pawar Saab, Supriya Sule, even the MPs, Mrs. Gavit and Anil Desai, and a lot of people actually, even the CM. We've written to them. We are waiting a reply. The major points that we have covered is what I would like to stress on in our letters to the CM. One is the rental waivers, not an extension, but a waiver, complete waiver for the non-use of the premises. Because that extensions are being given, but what we need is a complete waiver right now. So somewhere where the government would intervene and we do not have to pay rents for the months that the gyms are closed. The second thing is an extended GST deadline. Because as soon as we open, there will be income tax and GST and all other taxes which are going to pile on to the burdens of the, the gym owners especially.
Yeah.
So something like that. Now, the third point that we have communicated with them has been that we would like to get some kind of a stimulus package like the UK, US have offered, to the fitness industry for the trainers. A basic package, even if it's 5,000, 10,000, whatever. We're not aiming to get something very big, but something that will help them survive on their basic daily needs, as the expenses for everybody is not too much. It's one thing. We have also mentioned to them that we would like to start. I mean, like the US, it would have been good if the fitness industry did start, but it looks difficult. But with the Indian mentality and the overall mentality, especially in Bombay, is that our overheads are going to start and we are not going to make the money. Yeah. So maybe it's starting in the third phase would probably be a good thing for us. But we've written to them nevertheless now we are awaiting. So as soon as we get some reply, we would communicate the same with the association.
Okay. All right. Mr. Gandhi, would you want to add something where you have already given a platform to the fitness industry to come together? Are you diversifying into something which we can do meanwhile, till the lockdown gets over and there is no chance of human gathering now per se. So have you thought about it? Anything?
Obviously, the industry stalwarts are here, and about the gyms and everything. It's kind of a known fact, and as everybody put it very well, that the kind of safety norms what we require, and the industry is going to change. Everything is going to change. But I think everybody's getting used to living with that. Having said that, from the trade fair industry, I can tell you, China has opened trade fairs. Today, exhibition opened up in Korea, because trade fairs are also driving the economy. So in terms of that, we are seeing some movement, which is positive, though I personally don't advocate it, because safety is the main concern. So I mean, I don't have anything new to add here. I'm just listening. I'm trying to gather my thoughts. It's like everybody is sounding, everybody wants to be hopeful, but how much can one be optimistic about the entire scenario?
Yeah. Soniyaa ma'am, coming back to you, you were saying, while speaking to you, I just got a thought. Probably, why don't we tell the ministers if we can limit the number of members as per the square feet of the gym, suppose the gym is of X number square feet, probably only 10 members will be allowed inside at the moment.
So there are a few things that we have written in our letter to the ministers in terms of what are the measures we are going to be taking if in case they do allow us to open. Okay, so one is the temperature checks. One is the sanitization from the member point of view as well as the equipment point of view, as well as self-hygiene of our trainers and staff and people who are sitting. One is the social distancing, the 1.5 meter distance between the people who are going to be working out as well as the staff, the gloves, the masks. We've also mentioned that we would not initially allow members above 60. And we would, because they're all fixed members, we would be taking their travel history as well as we would be taking their, regular overall this thing. So it will be easier to track down everybody, and an appointment-based system, wherein we prioritize members who take appointments and only they would be allowed in that certain time slot.
Okay.
But if probably we all come up to a centralized solution and we implement it universally across all our gyms, state-wise, because it's a different scenario in Mumbai, Pune as compared to Delhi or probably another small city.
Yeah.
So we have to do it state-wise, and then probably we can come up with something like that, and Prabodh can take it forth with his meeting with the CM.
Okay. Mr. Jain, you want to add something to the conversation?
I would say what Soniyaa just said, that's absolutely true, and we should have a common SOP for the entire industry for everyone to follow, failing which it will be tough for anyone to operate. Because if we propose to the government that these will be the norms, then we all should come together and abide by the law or the suggestion from the government to operate. Because if we do not follow the process, and if tomorrow there is something or a case that comes up, then it will not only be a tough situation for that gym or that brand, but for the entire industry. People will be reluctant. But if we are following the safety protocols, then then anything can happen anywhere. We need to follow the safety standards, and plus we need to punch or push in that we are actually safer than the public transport, where there are unknown people coming in close proximity. With a gym, even if there are 20 people inside the gym, they are all members, they can be tracked, there is CCTV, we know where they're coming from, and they're all coming from a neighborhood. So
Exactly.
it is much easier for a gym to track, and we are helping people build their immunity. So we are in the like we are the one benefiting the public, not against the or the other side where the liquor shops are opened, which by which the immunity goes down. I'm not saying that that's not a necessity. That's also a necessity for a lot of people, but then we are there for a good cause.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm really optimistic about the memberships or the gym industry in the times to come, because there's a larger audience which is waiting to come to the gym. Yes, we will have to assure them about the safety protocols and what they can expect when they come to the gym. How are we going to take care of their health and the safety? And apart from that, these days we have seen there's a lot of virtual and online content which has gone out.
Yeah.
And senior citizens or people above 50, 60 who were not a part of our gyms, even they have realized that how important fitness is in terms of immunity. So they will be also a bigger audience that would want to come to the gym, or at least be a part of a fitness regime, be it going to the gym or online through various apps, online personal training, virtual training. But the audience is going to get bigger. So that's the optimistic part. Somebody shared with me that gyms in China opened up, and people in 3 or 4 tier cities, were not even wearing masks and they were working out. So in India as well, we'll have both set of people: those who are fearless and the others who are fearful, and the third category who will be careful. So there's a big audience we can cater to by the SOPs. We need to give them that confidence.
Yeah. Mr. Kakkar, I think in the US also the gyms have opened now, and is that correct?
We have opened a few gyms actually in US today actually. The news was out actually and over social media actually, and with a lot of restrictions actually.
So can you tell us the restrictions? Like what are you following in US, so that probably we can implement the same in India?
So basically, again, screening your members. As Mr. Vikas rightly said, unlike basically a restaurant or a metro, I have the members. I have the database of the members who are coming to me. So if something happens, I'm not letting in anybody actually who's not well actually. We'll screen him actually before letting him in. And in case there is basically anything happening, I have the database. I have the information about the member. We can catch hold actually of the things. Actually, we can track things actually. Even in a restaurant, you cannot track people actually, because a lot of people are from different places are coming actually to you. Again, US. In fact, globally, Alokji, what is happening is basically the restrictions are: one has to basically wear mask while coming in. The temperature screening has to happen. You have to wear gloves. Even we are thinking of basically not opening the wet areas to begin with. Actually, we are not going to open the showers as well as steam rooms. Actually, to start with, we are rethinking whether we should start the Group X studios, because in a small space you have a lot of members. So we are thinking not to begin actually with the Group X facilities. Also, as somebody said that to maintain the social distancing, we have to basically, like, suppose I have 10 treadmills or treadmills, I'll probably use half of the treadmills to begin with actually. So probably alternatively, basically on basis actually people will be using the treadmills actually. I'll probably remove the plugs actually out so that people don't use. To maintain that actually we have to do, and we have to basically limit the members. Maybe basically we have to do an odd even actually in our gyms, wherein basically I will call people on alternative basis. That too again in a slot system, because if I have to manage 1,000 members actually in a gym, that's the only way we can manage it.
Yeah. Vijay,
I want to ask something to Mr. Luthra. that today with isn't there a surge of home equipment, people asking for more and more equipment? Because I think though everybody is very positive and nothing, and Vikas and Soniyaa ji and Nikhil will hate me for this, but I feel because we as Indians, we are all very I think a lot of people are going to be very, very careful, because everybody has realized that it's about once you land up in an Indian hospital, and with the kind of images which are coming out, with the way the preparations are going on. If you look at Pragati Maidan or Bombay Exhibition Center, they've been being converted into large scale makeshift hospitals with thousand beds. Even today, the Dubai World Trade Center video came in, but with around 3,000 beds they've converted. So each exhibition booth has been made into a room and put a bed out there. So I think it's going to be some time. So during this time, what do you feel, sir? I think this is a very good opportunity for the industry, for the equipment industry, to make those packages and roll out the home gym setup.
Mr. Gandhi, thank you for the question. But the thing is, we took a lot of time to come out of this business. Coming out of home use business was not very easy for us. And for that, most of the things that you need, one of that is your sales approach, showrooms, your dealers. We can't single-handedly online sell all those things. If I'm able to fulfill something, it will be a very small area, but my investment on the equipment will be huge. It will not work with one container or two. I have to have a big budget to import that much equipment. That has to stay in the rolling. Unless I have this thing in a regularized way, like I have my dealers also selling it, I have my own showroom selling it, till that time, it's going to be a very bad decision for us to get into fitness equipment that's going to homes. What we are doing is, the commercial equipment that we sell is selling to homes a lot these days. We have people coming to our store, we are opening the store for them, we are selling to them, they're taking benches, they are taking dumbbells. It's a kind of opportunity which will not be there for very long, because the gyms are eventually going to open. And when the gyms open, people want to work out with others. It's not that people want to work out at home. The home gym is kind of a makeshift arrangement. I will not want to work out at home. Even if I have a fantastic gym at home, I will still want to go to the gym. I'll have a membership of 1 or 2 gyms rather, to just check the different environment, sometimes get into a different kind of a boost. But gym will be a priority, and gym will come back very, very hard, very strong. Coming on to this point of which was going on, sorry, if this answers your question, Mr. Gandhi.
Yeah, it answers it. In fact, I feel that there's going to be a era which is going to be even after this corona. People are definitely going to stock up on certain equipment because of these lockdowns. Whatever they have taught us, that certain amount of equipment, certain like a cross trainer or treadmill, I think those sales definitely should pick up. That even post vaccine,
majority of people who come to your stage, who actually are competing, and the ones who actually show off their bodies, work out in very small gyms. They don't have space, even small space in their houses to put up equipment. So we don't have to be categorically talking about those who actually can work out at their home and keep some equipment. All these Group X classes or virtual classes will keep you busy in these days. The gyms will be bouncing back. You need to have that environment. You need to build up each and every muscle in your body. And these virtual trainings, kind of yoga, or these are for a...
No, I'm totally with you on that. Yeah.
So for me, if we are talking about categorically gym A class, gym B class, and gym C class, the norms also that we are talking about are good for category A gyms.
Exactly.
80 to 85% of the gyms in the whole country are at such a level, they don't even keep a database of their members.
Exactly.
So first thing to think about is, are they going to maintain hygiene? If the gyms are going to open, it's going to open for the entire country. It's not going to be a partial thing, right? So if those people who are not maintaining hygiene, something gets infected and it spreads from there, the ones who are maintaining it will also get affected.
Will also go. Yeah.
Exactly.
And the
Yeah.
next
That's
and the
right.
next lockdown will be much worse than this one.
Yeah.
If that happens, then the gyms
Exactly.
will be kept at a very safe time to open. Otherwise, they will not open
Yeah.
not very soon.
Thank you, sir.
Vijay, you would like to add something?
Yeah, look, I mean, on the home sales, what we noticed is the first few weeks, yeah, there was a huge spike in requirement of like dumbbells and benches. But like now we're like 40 plus days. The same people who bought these things, they've come back. They've realized it's not safe because most of the flooring is either marble or tile that's
Ah.
breaking. There's resistance bands snapping. Um, and there's also a lot of variation. You can't do pull based movements at home, and people are starting to realize that it looks great for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but someone can't stick to that program for maybe like 12 weeks. It's very hard for someone to manage. And then there's also the space constraint in many metros over here. So there was a huge spike which is starting to drop already. Like Harmeet sir said, it's a very short bubble.
Mr. Jain, you have started a group on Facebook. I see Gym Owners Association.
Yeah.
Tell me something. Are we doing something like restaurant owners are very vocal about their voices to the government, and they are creating a lot of hoo-ha everywhere. As a gym association, what are we doing, or should we need more people? You need more participation. What can we do to come together?
There is a lot that can be done, and this is the first step that a couple of us, like me and Nikhil, and then Mr. Prabodh and a couple of other people took to get this started, so that we can make this big and approach various organizations which are directly working with the government, like FICCI, CII, or whatever, so that we can put our voice forward. Right now, there's a fragmented voice that goes in, like Mr. Prabodh is talking to a few ministers in Maharashtra. Similarly, someone will be talking in their respective city or state. But this needs to go on a center level, and surely we would need support of each and every one who is associated with the fitness industry to come forward and support this common cause, which is going to benefit everyone connected, not just the gym owners, but everyone connected.
So what do you suggest? Like, how do we come together? Do you have any suggestions since you have made the group?
So it is in a very nascent stage. We are right now working on getting the registration of the association. It is still very informal. So once we have the registration, we will be doing the memberships and taking it to the entire fitness fraternity in India. Only then we will be able to approach the government. We will need to have that power or the strength of all the fitness fraternity to move ahead.
Okay.
Because single-handedly, nobody can do it. Neither us nor Golds or Nitro. Anyone cannot take this by themselves.
Okay. Mr. Luthra, you want to add something to it? How you have any views, because you have been in the industry for a very long time?
Regarding FICCI, we have already put up that proposal of reductions of GST, as there was a thing going on in increase of duties was being planned by the government for the reason of Make in India. So we gave them a very strong approach, because 9506, the heading that we have in the sports and fitness equipment, the bad thing is that sports and fitness equipment both come under this heading. So they were treating fitness equipment also as sports. So what they were doing was, like in sports equipment, there are certain cases of under invoicing, and there are certain things which sports people don't want to be imported. Like they don't want those things to be imported into India. So we clearly gave them a lot of lengthy letters, and finally the government has understood. We had the minister of in the Ministry of DPIAT. We went a couple of times there, and we had exchanged a lot of letters with them. So the final thing that we have been able to explain to them is, like, we need a GST rebate of for the gym owners, because they charge 1,000 rupee. Out of that, 180 has to be given back to the government, which is not a sensible thing. They will not, 180 has to be given back to the government, which is not a sensible thing. They will not, 180 has to be given back to the government, which is not a sensible thing. They will not ever let you know what is their exact sale. They will not put anything on paper. They will simply take everything in cash. So everything has been done. That thing is being improvised. I think we are in touch with FICCI on a very regular kind of a way. Hopefully it gets sorted out. This will be again a very strong platform. If they take our letters also to them and they have their own letters, that will work wonders. I guess that will have a two-way attack on the government as to they have to do something. And we'll be happy to share all the papers with this new association that has been formed.
Okay. And what about the sectors which are not affected at all? Like so some places are in green zone. I don't think the gyms are on there as well, right? In fact, so sorry to cut you, but I got a message from a spa in Goa that we are starting the operations. Like it's a multi-national spa. But I was actually surprised at how is it possible? It's called Snip, if you know the brand. So
Yeah.
what do you think about the green zones? At least we can push those places. Anyone want to answer that? Luthra sir?
I doubt actually
Gyms,
that
gyms won't.
yeah, I doubt there is any mandate actually or any instructions actually coming from government actually to open gyms actually in even green zone actually. So even if basically things have been allowed actually partially in green zones, gyms is nowhere actually. Even malls are nowhere actually. I think we were the first one actually to get shut, and we probably would be the last one actually to start
Last two.
operations.
Last
actually.
ones, 100%, absolutely.
100.
So that's the biggest challenge we all are going to face, and we still are facing it. I would say.
Also, I would like to.
Yeah. So, go on.
Even if it's a green zone, you can't control where your trainers are coming from. A lot of trainers travel from distances and all. So, in fact, it's a good thing that all gyms would open at one time rather than open it at a green zone and then, have something go out of hand and then completely shut down.
Yeah.
So, it would be better to wait a little bit and then have everything open together.
It is better, and it is better and provided when you are going through all the hygienic process and everything is okay. Some trainers who might be affected, but they still want to make money, will never let you know that they are affected.
Exactly.
They will never let you know, and they will come to the job without letting you know that they are suffering from something, and that will spread. I'm telling you, it's going to be very difficult. No person is going to pick the dumbbells himself, put the barbells back on the rack. Dumbbells also he wants from someone, barbells also he wants from someone, and those people might be affected. And when the trainer is training, he is on your head, and there is no way escaping all that. Whatever mask you wear, whatever things you do, if he has to make money, he has to live his livelihood. He will not tell you that he is affected and I'm perfect, I'm fine, I will come on the job. So when he does like that, and that spreads again, it's going to be really difficult. There are lots of challenges in the gym.
Yeah. And so I've actually, I was making some points that we are, you guys are all affected by the, shutting of the gyms the most, but I gather here that you all value safety tremendously. And you rather open it late, but not get anyone affected and not put anyone in danger. Really hats off to you guys. And also one very good thing, I want viewers to know that Mr. Jain said that we are safer than the public transport. But let's see how it goes when the public transport opens and when the gyms open. And Soniyaa ma'am, I also wanted to see if there is any possibility of making gyms, into the healthcare industry, a healthcare or wellness industry, which will open earlier than us. Probably we can look at that.
Mr. Prabodh is working on that same proposal. I think he's in touch with quite a few colleagues of his, and we will update you all as soon as we have some kind of a, answer from the government. He has been speaking about it as well.
Okay.
This is on his mind.
Yeah. And
see, whatever takes government away from their revenues, government will never do that. It will, if they take it in healthcare, government will never want to understand. Even if they understand, still they will not want to understand it. They will take it as luxury. That's why 18% is applied on this. If they take it as a healthcare industry, at least 5% was good for a fitness center. They are not doing it.
Any
and
And under the current
And Alok,
circumstances,
we need to continue to push. Sorry, Nikhil, go ahead.
No, continue.
So what I'm saying is that we know that we are not going to be open soon, and the government will not even consider us. But that's our job as an industry to come forward and assure the
Exactly.
government on what we can do.
Hmm.
We should explore more options, like maybe instead of mask we can have visors inside our gyms, where we give visor to every member coming in, so that the contact radius goes to 6 inches instead of say 1.5 meters. Also, we can explore options of putting in partitions between our treadmills, so that more people can use it. So we need to explore those options, come up with a list of things that we can do, and tell them that we will be safer. I understand that we should not open, but or we should open the third phase or something. But there are a lot of staff members who are getting affected. They are not getting
Yeah.
paid,
Yeah.
or they had a very fixed portion of fixed salary and a big variable salary. And definitely things will be different, and members will have to adapt. Like in India, spitting was common. Now there is a challan on spitting that way. So likewise, members will have to adapt to a new style of working out. Bringing their different shoes for workout, no wet area, as Nikhil said, and then nobody to help them pick up the dumbbells, like the way it happens in the Western world. You go in and you do your workout. The personal trainers are there for your motivation and guidance, and they're not really helping you by handling all the time. People will have to adapt to a new world. We all will have to adapt to the new world. We are not designed to adapt to changes, but being social animals, we would want to we would want to go to the gym, and we need to make sure that we tell people what can we do for their safety. That's where the industry can come together and push this to the government.
Also, a point I would like to add: in another 2 months, we would probably have clarity if this would be the way of life, because the vaccine is well on its way. My dad's with the Serum Institute, and not only Serum, there are many other companies where they're into this vaccine manufacture. So we should have an answer. If there's a vaccine out, then probably life can go back to the way it was before.
Absolutely.
I think Kaizzad sir
So we
has joined
should-
us. He was in the hospital looking after his aunt. Hello, sir.
Hi, I'm in the car. I'm in the car.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Kaizzad sir.
Hi.
Hi, Kaizzad. How are you?
Hi. Vikas, hi.
Sorry, Soniyaa.
Hi.
You can continue with the vaccine you were talking about. That was some silver
Yes,
lines.
please.
So what I was saying was, we in 2 months we would have more clarity on whether this would be our way of life, or there is a vaccine and we go back like we got over SARS and everything. So we should be optimistic that there would probably be a vaccine and we'll be out of this, and we can go back to no social distancing, normal norms, normal everything.
Okay.
We probably should look at both the scenarios. We should be positive.
Yeah. Hope that happens. Kaizzad sir, you joined in now, but we have been discussing all the good things that we can do in the lockdown and post-lockdown. Where are we currently, according to you, and what are your views on it?
My views are sheer anger. What to do now?
Express your anger. Express
Yeah,
your
because the thing is that nothing seems to be making sense. Nothing seems to be following science. Immunology is being ignored. Virology is being ignored. We're dealing with a virus, but virology का कुछ संबंध दिख नहीं रहा है यहाँ पे. We are talking about the immune system, and at the same time, these lockdowns and isolations are going to weaken the immune system.
Yeah.
Immunology 101. It's basic, fundamental immunology that we build our immune systems based on exposure. So we know that if we had grown up in a clean room is a technical term where machines are used to completely remove all microbes. So if our parents had been paranoid enough and wealthy enough to make us grow up in a clean room without any microbes, we would be right now having an extremely weak immune system.
Difficult life, yeah.
And And there are people who live in garbage, and there are people who eat out of dumps. And if you're wondering, and if you spend even 2 hours in that atmosphere, in that environment, you're going to catch so many bugs and you're going to be so sick. But they eat things that would give us a kind of a gastric attack that could kill us. They eat those things and nothing happens to them.
Yeah.
We talk about hygiene, and people live in the most unhygienic conditions, and they don't get, it's not that they don't get infected, but the immune system is so incredibly robust. So if you're going to be dousing yourself with sanitizer, and if you're going to be, and again, the funny part is, they tell you not to, let's talk about the inconsistencies. They tell you not to touch your mouth with your hands. They tell you to sneeze in your elbow crease. Correct?
Yeah.
Now, suppose it's not that the elbow crease cannot get infected. And the point is, you will sneeze once. Again, you're going to sneeze there only. And again, you're going to sneeze there only. The social distancing, we are social animals, and we live in a world filled with microbes. So there are all kinds of microbes on our skin right now. And bacteria and viruses are divided into good and bad, literally down the middle. Finally, what is a vaccine? A vaccine is an introduction of a pathogen at a very low level so that the body builds defenses. So why are we not understanding the basic premise behind a vaccine? And also, the novel corona is an offshoot of the same coronavirus that has been there for years. There are various, I think this is the 8th version if I'm not mistaken. So the point of the matter is, it's an upper respiratory tract specific viral pathogen belonging to the corona class. It is basically influenza specific to upper respiratory tract. And by the way, UK started off on the right note. Herd immunity is something that we are hearing for the first time, but it's been there from the very beginning. In fact, every epidemic that has come has been resolved through herd immunity only. If you think that all those H1N1 and the SARS and the mad cow and the dengue and what all the viruses, if you think they've disappeared, they never disappear. They're always there. The incidences go down because we build an immunity to them. It's as simple as that. And this one is not even lethal. The problem, the thing that we can't wrap our brains around is, it is not lethal. And the number of deaths that we're talking about, see, the point is, any number starts sounding ominous because you start counting.
Absolutely, right.
Right now, Harmeet coughed. Look at the paranoia. Bloody hell, when you are right now in the hospital also, कभी-कभी गले में अटक जाता है कुछ तो भी है.
लोग भाग जाएंगे सर दूर में.
मैं जब खांसता हूँ ना, so that I get paranoid, the people around. Sneezing is not a sign of cold. A sneeze is not a cold. Again, look at the hoarding. So if I talk about inconsistencies, they are telling you to see to it, ensure that your meat is cooked well. Okay? Now, who the hell doesn't cook their meat well? What about the raw salads we have? Is it that the butcher's sneeze will always have a virus and that a vegetable vendor's sneeze is not going to have the virus? It is salads that we eat uncooked. In fact, the information going out should be, do not eat anything that is edible uncooked. There's a reason why you can have a chai at a chai ki tapri that is over a gutter and never get infected, despite the fact that he's using gutter water to bloody clean the glasses also. You don't get infected because he's bloody boiling that chai from morning till night. But if you eat fruit at a fruit vendor, cut pieces of fruit, high chances of you getting a gastroenteritis. You eat salads even at a 5-star. I've got gastroenteritis after eating a salad at a 5-star restaurant, 5-star hotel. So, in fact, warning people about raw. Do not eat things that can be eaten raw. Do not eat things that can be prepared cold or don't need heating. Instead of that, the directive given is cook your meat. Like, for instance, we are into all raw meat eating, and probably somebody will forget to cook the meat. So the inconsistencies are incredible. The social distancing part of it. So you put these, you put these gaps between people standing for a line to wait to go inside a Nature's Basket or a grocer's store. But once you're in the grocery store, you are with some 40, 50 people inside, but you cannot share your office with 20 people.
Yeah.
Why are they stopping people from working? I mean, why? The point is, I can understand if they did not open up buses and trains. Okay? Now, if they didn't open up buses and trains, what would happen is only the people who can get their private vehicles would come to office. उनका 33% का directive भी आराम से solve हो जाता. Are they not looking at right now domestic violence is bound to be at its height?
Yeah.
You put a joint family in a small flat, and there are enough people like that. And the only reason why they can coexist is people go and come. But you keep them inside. Can you imagine the kind of tempers flaring? Are they not worried about clinical depression? Now, we read about farmer suicides. We read about farmers committing suicide. Do you think it's specific only to farmers? Don't you think it was because of an economic depression? I mean, the crops were destroyed, so they committed suicide. You think suicide rates are not going to peak? And the funniest thing is that in this pandemic, there are empty hospitals. There are doctors who are working from home.
Yeah.
I'll tell you an amusing thing. My secretary of my building went to the first doctor he went to because he was feverish. So he went to the doctor. The doctor maintained a 10 feet distance from him. So he's telling the doctor, तुमको injection देना है कि तुम साला डांट फेंकेगा क्या उधर से? Are you going to throw it across the bloody clinic at me? He away from there. The doctors right now are doing their diagnosis through video conferencing.
Yeah.
You think that's not going to cause problems?
So since you are connected with so many trainers, okay, sir.
Reliance Hospital also. I had to do research. I was closer to Holy Spirit, but Holy Spirit wasn't taking patients. So you can imagine the number of deaths that are happening out of all other complications that are getting absolutely no medical attention because of this. And by the way, again, remember one thing about pandemics. And this is disregarding the fact that there are silent carriers. Every virus can create asymptomatic carriers. Every virus.
Exactly.
The reason why there are asymptomatic carriers is because of the fact that viruses mutate in two ways. They can either become a lot more virulent or they can become less virulent. Whenever the incidence of silent carriers increases, it means that the virus is becoming less virulent, which is why they don't manifest. The deaths are happening to metabolically ill people, older people with compromised immunity, and nobody is counting the number of deaths that happen through normal influenza. And if you look at the number of deaths today happening because of malaria, cholera, typhoid, which people have stopped counting, they far outnumber these numbers. US is opening up. It is opening up. Herd immunity, the British scientists, they told UK that you go with herd immunity, do not lock down. UK was not locked down. UK, the premier, the prime minister basically got under pressure from other countries saying you're doing something reckless. And every time it came up in the press that the UK was doing something reckless by following herd immunity, there was no figure that UK is high in numbers because of that. Another country jo khud ka karta hai, he doesn't care about any other country, is Sweden. Sweden has not locked down anything from day one. And Sweden's numbers are not increasing at all. Now, of course, the argument is Sweden has got less population. That's not the point. The point is that at no point in time in history have healthy people been quarantined. In epidemics and pandemics, only the symptomatic people get quarantined, never the healthy, irrespective and disregarding the fact that in every single virus epidemic and breakout, there are silent carriers. So I don't know why we have to go through such incredible losses. The liquor store thing was too much to handle. It was just too much to handle. I mean, the point is, it's Harmeet has that. Harmeet ने भेजा होगा किसी को खड़ा रहने के लिए. But the point
मेरे पास
is,
6 महीने का स्टॉक पड़ा है सर.
the point is, were they looking at social distancing then? There were at least 300, 400 people outside every liquor store, standing in snaking lines and with no distance between them, because these were not guys who are outside nature's basket to bloody maintain. And actually, I saw the cops herding them. Now, as far as education is concerned, education will not get so impacted, but education catering to the fitness industry, which is where I am. So that is definitely going to be a challenging task right now. Very seamlessly, we've moved into video conferencing for our classes. And you all know me, I'm not in favor of online. So we are definitely using the online medium, but we have ensured that we teach face-to-face. We're using Zoom, and right now, and by the way, it's face-to-face throughout. So again, we were the only ones with brick and mortar schools in fitness sciences. Today, we are the only ones who have 100% video conferencing throughout the course. The batches have rolled out from the first week of May. We've had about 200 enrollments since lockdown. And that is about literally 25% of our normal enrollments. The other problem with this is that the customers, now supposing now I'm open and I'm taking on admissions, but my student who is moving from another industry, he's working in some other industry, either he or she has not gotten a salary or their father or mother has not gotten salaries. So the bouncing of checks. So we've got a non-banking financial institution giving student loans, correct? And they pay us upfront and they take 10%. Now, every time a student bounces a check, we are liable to pay for the student. So they've been given moratoriums. Now, even the NBFCs have stopped transacting. So we have to give deferred payment to our students. So with 25% of normal enrollment rate, we are getting only 10% of their fees upfront. So right now, I'm literally at 3% of revenue that we normally do. And we are, obviously we are paying whatever we are able to the staff as salaries. All the other editors are on hold. Landlords are on hold. I love my office, but tomorrow I'm talking to my landlord कि भैया अभी तुम्हारा office नहीं पड़ेगा और हम share office में जा रहे हैं.
Sir, what about trainers? Because you are connected to a lot of trainers. Are they coming up with their suggestions to you, which you want to tell the gym owners?
There are two kinds of trainers. Let's talk about the freelancers first, then talk about the gym owners. There are two kinds of trainers and freelancers. One trainer, so supposing it's one of our students that I'm giving a call to, I'm on the phone. They don't pick up. Then they call me back saying, "Sir, sorry, मगर session में था." I said, "कौन सा session?" बोला, "नहीं sir, video conferencing के through हमारे clients को हम लोग कर रहे हैं." So there are people who've already started this without our advice. Okay. And very soon we're going to be putting up a social media post, at least 10 videos in a carousel, showing our various trainers very successfully conducting their personal training sessions virtually right now. Then there is another kind of freelancer who's calling me up as a student and saying, "Sir, मान ही नहीं रहे लोग, हम लोग बोल रहे हैं, request कर रहे हैं कि sir session लीजिए, आप video conferencing के through तो session लीजिए, sir चालू करते हैं." और उन लोग बोल रहे हैं नहीं नहीं, हम जब भी lockdown खत्म होगा तभी आप घर पे आना. Now, what is the difference between the two? The first kind of personal trainer has started out authoritatively. He has become a teacher and a coach. And what he does is, he doesn't request his clients to continue personal training with him through video conference. What he says is because he's a Guruji. Now Harmeet has got Aminder. Now if Harmeet was taking Aminder's services, Aminder has got that what over Harmeet. Harmeet calls him a guru, a sir. So Aminder would have called up Harmeet and said, Harmeet ji, lockdown hai, uska matlab workout band nahi hoga, chalu rahega. And I want you ready by this time, or main laptop aise rakhna, main karunga. That's the difference.
Yeah.
The personal trainers who have understood that you are supposed to be a guide, a coach, a teacher, they are not facing any problem. They are moving straight to video conferencing and they're dictating the terms to the clients, saying, I'm not going to let you ruin my work that I've put into you for so long. Lockdown doesn't mean that your workout stop. I've got a way, and I see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. again, same time. Keep your laptop on, and I'm sending you a Zoom link. See, this is how it's working. And the guys who are whining and crying are the ones who were the personal trainers who used to cater to their clients' need by saying, "Aapko jo chahiye, wo hum karenge." They did not rise to the status of a teacher, a guide, a coach. Now,
Very well said.
Cult put up a request to us for 1,000 trainers on a freelance basis because it was the next logical step to go into the app-based thing in any case. So the way it was supposed to work was that the trainers would be taking care of the cult members who are sitting at home through virtual training, and they would be paid per session. So there wouldn't be any salary, but since their infrastructure is not being used, majority of the share would go to the trainer. From what they told me, the trainer would have earned about $500 a session. Now he could probably do about 8-10 sessions, around 4,000 to 5,000 rupees per day is what the trainer would earn through this lockdown period. And their criteria for choosing the trainers was their house and infrastructure also. So do they have a proper clearing? ऐसा तो नहीं है कि वो ट्रेनर सिखा रहा है और पीछे किचन है और माँ क्या पका रही है वो दिख रहा है स्क्रीन पे. देन कनेक्टिविटी कैसा है उनके घर पे, थोड़ा भी इक्विपमेंट है क्या, कौन से वर्कआउट्स. आवर स्टूडेंट्स वर सपोज्ड टू सेंड देम ट्रेनिंग वीडियोस. We gave them about 300 students. We were supposed to give them 1,000. We gave them 300 students. Out of 300 students, they selected only 30 based on the student's house and the way it was done. And recently, they again gave us a call saying we are stopping this. We have selected about this thing. Do not send us any more because we are stopping this right now with how many other trainers that we've got. So that didn't really work out as well as they thought because earlier their demand was for 1,000 trainers, but it started off. And Vikas, you'll be very happy to note that you've got a wonderful franchisee in Mumbai at Kemp's Corner. So I had a meeting with your franchisee, the Kemp's Corner Anytime Fitness.
Goradias.
Some surname was different. I met his wife's son and the gentleman.
They're Goradias. Mrudung Goradia.
Yes, Mrudung.
Yes, sir. Goradia.
So they are right now in the process of video conferencing interviews with 6 trainers. They wanted 6 trainers. And I even asked him, I said, are you sure you want them right now? Or after saying, no, I need to recruit good trainers. And he's got his eye set on when the gym opens, I want good people. So he started interviewing. And of course, the situation, whether it's that Anytime Fitness or whether it's any of the franchisees, then rumors. Now, Gold's Gym filing for bankruptcy. They have not filed for bankruptcy. They've filed for bankruptcy protection. That's a different thing altogether.
Right, sir.
They are financial.
Yeah.
And bankruptcy protection means that they've gone lean. So what they've done is 30 corporate stores they've shut down. Obviously, the ones that are not. Now the 30 corporate stores. So sometimes what happens in the franchising business is that the franchisees could have deeper pockets than the master franchisor.
Very true.
And each franchisee is an independent business. So when Gold's files for bankruptcy, as in Gold's corporate files for bankruptcy, it is not necessary that the Gold's franchisees will all file for bankruptcy.
Yeah.
So the future painted. So Nikhil, you'll agree with me on this, that this needs to be put out, and the right information needs to be given. ENY has done a very stupid report, and Ernst and Young is all, whether I don't like these consulting firms. They make up figures. They just toko anything they want. So they have sort of doomsday prediction for the fitness industry. So the educated lot is all going as per the EY report. And quite frankly, I'm sure you all must have all discussed this already amongst yourselves, that immunity is on everybody's minds.
Yeah.
And correctly or wrongly, people have connected, even the propaganda is people have connected a robust immunity to a robust, strong body. So health and fitness now, the death numbers, it's very clear that only the weak are dying from corona. Only the unhealthy people are dying from corona. So a lot of emphasis post-corona is going to be on health and fitness. And I definitely see an increased demand for the right guidance. That means increased demand for personal trainers, increased demands for nutritionists, because everybody post this is going to want to be very careful about their health. I know of so many people. Harmeet is posting workouts from home, and there are so many people who earlier would not be working out, but now are seen working out at home. And also, we must not discount the frustration that is there in the people who prefer a gym environment to work out. So initially, the social media posts were all about them excited about lifting a cylinder. And in fact, my marketing head, Arjun Garwal, he did a cylinder workout, and baad mein cylinder वापस cooking के लिए चला गया. So they are missing they're missing their gym tremendously, and that's going to have a backlash again. Utah has opened up gyms already, the northern part of Utah in the USA. And the strictures that I've heard about the gyms is 1 person per 100 square feet. So 2,000 square feet gym floor should not have more than 20 people. Obviously, the remote testing of body temperature and the sanitization and all that protocol will be there for gyms. But in a year's time, we will be normal. People get tired. You can't test the patience of people. अभी तो designer mask चालू हो जाएंगे नहीं तो it's
already शुरू हो गया कि
Already
started.
हो गया.
Yeah.
LV has already launched, no?
Yeah. I was about to say
That's a very nice one.
So yeah, I mean, I know that the future is bright. It's about surviving the present. We just hope we survive the present so that we can take benefit of the brighter future. So that's from my side.
I think we had a very good discussion after a long time, and I think once in a month ऐसा कुछ करना चाहिए, if you guys are up for it. And anybody wants to add anything to this?
I would like to add something, just
Sure.
a small thing.
Yeah, sure.
My question is to Kaizzad. For you, Kaizzad, don't you see that you would probably lose out on people coming to your actual classes once they open because your online medium is working really well? So for you, it probably would not affect you because you can have the same kind of online medium. But for us, probably it would go against us because once our trainers start taking classes and say because of fear or whatever, insecurity, or no lack of confidence, members refuse to come to the gym, wouldn't they develop that kind of an online rapport, and then probably we would lose out on members? Wouldn't that be something that we would have to face?
All possibilities exist, but remember one thing: I can't survive without the fitness. So people don't understand what industry I belong to. I don't belong to the fitness industry anymore. I belong to the vocational education industry. Now,
Correct.
the vocational education industry is purely dependent on the industry it caters to. Now, take Frankfin. Now, Frankfin was in trouble when the aviation industry could not offer jobs at all. So, I know of so many, and Frankfin, of course, is not a flight school. It's for the in-cabin crew. But so many pilots have done my course, the personal trainers course, because they were fitness-oriented, and so many pilots became personal trainers at that time. Now, that was when airline industry suffered. If the fitness industry suffers, our whole thing is the prospects in the fitness industry, how good they are. So Soniyaa, actually, I would say that if it affects the fitness industry badly, I get affected tremendously because people stop taking enrollments, and convincing prospects that you can freelance, you can do this virtual training is very difficult prospect. They want to know, are good gyms going to hire us? So I'm not being stupidly optimistic here, But the gyms cannot disappear. It's just about having deep pockets to survive this. And the government seeing to it that we survive. I've already reached out to NSDC. And I've said that I'm deserving of my third tranche, which I've not taken. So I've reached out to the NSDC. They're considering it. The point is that some kind of bailout is necessary. It's not that the landlords don't need protection. The landlords also need protection. I mean, we always when the rent comes, we tell them nahi hai bhaiya, nahi de sakte hain. And they're trying right now. Now I know a great move by Palladium. So Atul Ruya, basically, Palladium is the leading brand in malls right now, and it's like a little city. So Palladium has given a 6-month moratorium to the shops. And after 6 months, he is going to go up in a very, very graded fashion. He's not going to jump to his rates again. And he's earning brownie points from his tenants. Right. He's coming across as very generous, but actually speaking, he's doing the practical thing. ये force करके करेगा क्या? पैसा नहीं तो देगा कैसे? The force can only work if the person is sitting with money.
If the rentals are passive income, then it can be deferred. Otherwise, if it's the active income for a landlord, then it has to be considered कि उसके घर पे भी उसको पैसा चाहिए. वो कहाँ से अपना घर चलाएगा?
I'm seeing that. अभी कलकत्ता का मेरा landlord हमेशा कॉल करता है because बेचारा का पूरा घर चलता है रेंट पे. दूसरे landlords, when I call them up, they immediately said, हाँ मालूम है what you've called for, and don't worry, कभी देगा. So at that time I said कि बाबा चलो जून तक तो दे दो. But I don't know how, and the moratorium period also that the landlords are giving. We are not going to be able to pay up 4 months rent as the moratorium period ends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Communication. Only communication is going to help.
According to me,
because every case is going to be different in this scenario.
मेरे ऑफिस के लैंडलॉर्ड को मेरे को बोलना है कि I am going into share space. $10,000 a station. I got a deal. Right now, my rent is 8 lakhs for the head office. It's going to come down to, and I need a 50% cut. The projections, 10-year projections that we've given NSDC, I need a 50% cut in rent. Now, schools, I cannot move out of. That'll impact. Head office, as much as I love, I've already finalized. Now I'm going to tell the landlord, ke, Baba, forget the lockdown. Main nikal raha hai, I cannot afford you. And that should probably put some sense into him. And shayad mere ko mera office nahi chhodna pade, but it's impacted in a very bad way.
Soniyaa,
and Soniyaa,
coming back to your question, I have a point to make here. Sorry, Kaizzad sir. I think new recruits that have started working out, because a lot of my friends, they have started working out at home, and they tell me now, "Arey, tu gym jata hai, to hum bhi aayenge tere saath." These people have never lifted a dumbbell in their life. So I think it will balance out the situation.
Both ways.
Yeah.
And
whatever time it takes to balance out, उससे पहले इंडस्ट्री ब्लीड होके मर नहीं जाए, उसके लिए कैश रोल इन करना सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी है. ये जितना भी हम SOP क्रिएट कर ले, whatever we think of like ये हमें ये करना चाहिए, वो करना चाहिए, that's not going to get the cash rolling. If we even get this thing applied कि 10 लोग आएंगे या 20 लोग आएंगे, उससे पैसा नहीं आने वाला है, because the rentals are going to start, but the people are not, new members are not going to come up and pay कि इस तरह से जिम चलेगा तो हम नहीं आएंगे, हम थोड़ा रुक के आएंगे. So the ideas have to start wherein the cash starts rolling, so that the existing gym owners don't die. क्योंकि ये खुलने के बाद भी 2 महीने 3 महीने ऐसा ही पेनफुल रहने वाला है, पक्की बात रहने वाला है.
And there needs to be an agreement amongst ourselves. Like somebody would ask for a moratorium, somebody is asking for a waiver. We need to be uniform in what we are asking for. If we are asking for a waiver, it has to be a complete waiver of rent for the days not used. If a particular gym owner, a well-known one, or in your case is okay with a moratorium, then why would another landlord agree with a waiver? So there need to be certain guidelines which the Gym Owners Association comes up with, which then need to be placed uniformly to all landlords, so that there's a stronger chance of us getting what we want. That's just my...
Okay.
Alok, I have a question for the club owners. Like, is force majeure an option? Has someone explored, or is there any like challenges executing any force majeure clauses?
Anybody
Going
answer that?
going into legals is not advisable. I'm saying everyone's here to do business. Going into legals is not assuring that gym is opening and the rentals are not going. It is going to happen only with the communication. Communicate with the landlords, shake hands wherever it's possible. क्योंकि हमको अपना पूरा का पूरा equipment उठा के लेके जाना is not easy. We have spent a lot on interiors, and wherever we go, we have to start the business again. So communication, going into force majeure and all that is going to be a thing which is like last of resort.
Force majeure would also come into effect only if you're completely getting out of the space, right? If you want to continue with your business, force majeure is not applicable, generally, at least. So that's not a valid point for us to take forth.
Yeah, legals don't stand strong on that.
Okay. Anybody wants to add anything, or we can close the meeting?
There is a lot of ambiguity around the clause of force majeure. There has to be a term like, okay, is it covering the government decisions or pandemic or act of God? So and there are no standard agreements. So everybody's agreements are different. So it's not going to benefit anyone. And like Harmeet rightly said, the best thing to resort to is communication, because end of this, the real estate values and the rentals are also going to go down, because there's a lot of businesses which will be shutting down in this phase, all the weaker ones. So the demand is going to go down. So the landlords should be aware about that by the time this ends. And we should be happily able to, kind of negotiate on the past and the way forward as well.
Absolutely. Communication. Yeah.
Okay.
Manish.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I just saw a post of yours that struck to me like a real unique one. You've managed an expo through a virtual expo.
No, so there was, I attended a talk called Meetex, in which they explored the thing about this platform where you could do virtual expos, but I'm a non-believer. So I was the first one to inaugurate it. So he did change my mind a bit, but just the way, the e-learning and we are human beings, we are social animals, we need the interaction. So this is very good, which is happening, which I think is an amazing thing. But if all of us were sitting together, maybe having a drink or a coffee or something, the energy is going to be very, very different.
Yeah.
So going to the gym, having virtual is very good. It's an extension. We are all learning, but I think nothing can take away from that human interaction. Absolutely.
So probably a year down the line, the frustration levels, everything will turn back to normal. That's
No, the herd mentality which you spoke about, and I've been reading so many things and following. And Germany, because the entire German economy works on exhibitions. The Chinese economy is majorly into exhibitions. So Korea started their exhibition today, and I got some pictures because we have major trade fair groups. So Kitex opened today, and Kitex had same lines. They were maintaining social distancing. The mask is a compulsory. All those norms are being followed, but people are just going for it now, because that herd immunity thing is a thing to stay, and that's what is going to happen, because we are just delaying the process. But once by May 30th we open up slowly, all of us who have the luxury of holding on, will hold on. But people who don't have the luxury of social distancing, they'll have to venture out.
Dubai Mall opened up. Sheikh opened up the Dubai Mall also.
But malls
are anyways fully covered, sir. Huh? Those people are fully covered all the time.
Yeah, it's just it's a smart move. It is a smart move. Finally, economic collapse to that extent. And one more problem that I face in this thing is, so let's say you innovate and you do something and you get, your customer doesn't have money to pay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sir, first day this Guangzhou Hermes store opened and there was a sale of 19 crores. So people have money. The luxury people will still go for buying luxury. It opened after.
That happens only in China.
That was the first day.
Any kind of propaganda can come out of China.
That was the first day, and the sale was like 19 crore rupees on the Hermes showroom. and
My
people just
customer
bought
becomes
everything what was kept there.
But my customer becomes rich only after getting educated from my school and then having a career in any of your gyms.
There will be revenge spending in India as well. Everybody will go out and do. They have a wish list now that what they want to do when the things open. And
Sir,
I just
per
the
my
gyms
idea,
are
I guess from June onwards it's going to start,
Yeah.
and life is going to be started like normal living. People will start living with it, I guess, and then I guess we will not be missing this IHFF of November even. That will happen.
Very nice. Very
Looking
nice.
forward to
Very
it.
good.
Thank you so much.
मैं सारे तीन
सर
ये
आपने
आपने
पूरा
बहुत लोगों के
एनर्जी
सामने बोल
एकदम
दिया सर, अभी ध्यान रखना.
आपने एकदम एनर्जी डाल दी एकदम. we all energized right now.
Yeah. Totally.
Get into the idea of cash flow, everyone, because that's what's most needed right now. You will need cash immediately, whatever you start with, whenever you start with. Your cash bells have to ring immediately. That's more important.
I think last point, I think Vikas ji, whatever you're doing with the association thing, I think with you and being in Delhi and Soniyaa ji and Nikhil and Harmeet ji, I think definitely an industry body is needed. And with Ficky's collaboration and everything, I think you should, all the support is there as media houses, Alok is there, we are there to support. So I think you should definitely go full steam on that.
Yeah. Anything to do with Bombay, we are always there to go and talk to Soniyaa ma'am. This for you. I can come with you. Manish sir can come with you. We can all go in a group and get things.
Yeah.
So everyone.
Let's see.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So
Thank
much.
you, sir.
Thank you.
for coming
Thank you,
in.
everyone. Thank you.
Lovely.
Bye-bye,
We
everyone.
will meet without the
Thank you.
screen.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Stay
100%.
safe. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks.